Okay, so what I want to do is show you how I would create an assistant for a brand or for a brand that I want to manage. So first of all, we need to do some research on the brand so we can create some grounded knowledge. Now, there's two tools. I don't use Sim Theory for this. I will either use Google Gemini, because Google Gemini has the deep research function here, Gemini's deep research, or I'll use ChatGPT's deep research. I find that the output from either of these two models really good to create the research that I need so I can create grounded knowledge for an assistant. So if there's a brand that I want to create an assistant on and it's trained on that assistant, I'll run 4 prompts. So, and I'll share these 4 prompts with you, and they should be at the bottom of the video. And I create 4 prompts. One's a comprehensive brand research, one's ad copy research, research analysis on the brand avatars, and online reviews and brand sentiment. And generally these 4 prompts that I run, I get the output. Then I will come into Sim Theory, and if I was going to use this as an example, this brand assistant, you'll see here that I've only got 2 in here. I've only got one for this one. I only wanted to do one, the brand research and analysis, but I've attached that document. I've put it into a Word document and attached it as for knowledge. And I've also given it the URL. Generally, when you add a source, you can add a website and you can ask it to crawl I usually go 2 levels deep and only just do it once, or you can schedule it to run daily, weekly, or monthly, depending on you, if website consistently being updated. So what I will do, especially from a brand perspective, is I will open up the first prompt and I'll simply just copy all this, and then I'll replace the brand name and the website URL, and I'll either paste this inside Gemini and do a deep research on that first prompt, or ChatGPT. I'll get the findings for that and I will use that as my grounded knowledge. And I'll attach that to a Sim Theory assistant. And if I'm particularly looking at doing something on a brand, I will, or research or analyzing a brand, or want to talk about a brand, I will use that grounded knowledge that I'll run on these 4 prompts to run queries only for that brand. So I'll share with you at the bottom of this video these 4 prompts. Use them how you like. And then what I'll do is I'll then show you how I create the instructions for each assistant. And the main thing that I want to do, and a lot of people when they're first creating instructions is they ask, how do you do an how do you create a prompt? So I've created an assistant to prompt me, and I call it my prompts regroup, and it's got a sequence of instructions to guide me through what keep asking me. I've got a lot of prompts here. I've been testing a lot of, there it is, step 1. So I'll share with you these instructions, and what I always do is, if I'm not too sure and I want to give the instructions. So this is step 1. It's a 2-step process. I run this prompt requirements gatherer here. I'll attach this prompt requirements gatherer, and then I'll choose whichever model that I want to use. And just say I've been using GPT-5 a lot. I find that the output's quite good. And then I'll simply say, I want you to help me create instructions to give to a prompt creator that will output prompts for an assistant. And the reason I do this, and let's just say I want you to help me create instructions to give to an AI to write Google, oops, I've got the wrong thing selected there. Google responsive search ads that will convert highly in Google ads. Let's just say that was what I wanted. Then you give that back to, and this could be any prompt at all. All this thing's going to do now, and I'll share the instructions for this, is it's now going to ask me a series of questions. So it just keeps asking me a whole heap of questions. So that's great. So what's your core purpose? So then I think it's about 10 questions it asks me. Now, this isn't you've got to do a little bit of work here, but when you go through and answer these questions, it is trying to get context for you. Then it will output the instructions. You'll grab those instructions, and that's where you'll feed it into the next assistant that creates the prompt for you. And I've got multiple prompt builders, but I usually use about 2 or 3 and then I'll pick the best one, look at the outputs and pick the best one that I like and do some modifications. But this is essentially what I'm doing now. It's saying, let's start by clarifying your goals. What's your core purpose? Generate high converting responsive ads for a specific product service. So then I would just simply go through and type in one, yes, RSA ads for an e-commerce brands selling shoes. Actually, I'll put women's shoes in Australia, something like that. And then you go, what specific outcome should be the prompt each time? 15 headlines, 4 descriptions. So this is where you go, okay, well, how many headlines do I want to produce? So it's prompting you, instead of just saying, most people say, give me headlines and descriptions. It's asking, how many do you want? And so for responsive search ads, we've got 15 headlines that we can use or 4 descriptions. The AI is aware of that, and hence it's asking for 15. In another video, I'll share with you how I create ads and the prompts that I use for those ads. I generally ask for more than 15 headlines and 4 descriptions because I want to get multiple options that I can choose from. So this prompt requirements gatherer is asking you all the questions that it thinks, or based on the context of your first instructions, all the information it needs. Then it analyzes all of your responses and then gives you the instructions to give to a tool that now will create the prompt for you. So I pretty well, this is step one. Whenever I've got an idea on creating an assistant, I'll do this first. I'll do step one and go, right, I want the AI to ask me a whole heap of clarifying questions. Then I build that will give me the instructions. I'll analyze the instructions, copy the instructions, and then I'll give that to a prompt builder. So like I said, you'll have all of these documents that we'll share with you. This is how I do my brand research analysis. Then if I was creating a assistant for the brand and I wanted to create the instructions, I would then use this prompt requirements gatherer saying, I want to create an assistant for a brand, give the name of the brand. You could even add the documents as well. So you can upload files. So upload the 4 documents that you want it to reference, and it should have some context on those documents, and it will ask you the questions based on whatever files that you want to upload to the documents. Hope that's helpful. I'll see you in the next video.